Hi, this is Dr. Pete, and I'd like to go over proportions. Okay, so when you're given a prescription that asks for a certain strength of something that um, you may not have exactly the medicine that the doctor orders, but you can convert it. You can use proportion to change the medication into exactly what the doctor wants. So, for example, um, let's say that the doctor orders Depo-Provera, and this comes as 400 milligrams per mil. Now, let's say the doctor ordered 0.3 grams. Okay, so the first thing we do, if we want to use a proportion method, then we know that Depo-Provera is 400 milligrams per mil. So when we set it equal to whatever we want, we could see that milligram has to stay on the top and milliliter has to stay on the bottom. Okay, now we have 0.3 grams, so 0.3 grams, we can't put it here because it has to be the same units as what we have over here. So we know that 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. Okay, and so if we have 0.3 grams, if we multiply it by 1,000, then because there's 1,000 milligrams per gram, right? And you just cancel these two, then you get 300 milligrams. Okay, so that means that 400 milligrams per mil equals 300 milligrams over x. And since milliliters here, x is here, so that means x is going to be in milliliters. So you cross multiply, which means, so you say 400 x equals 300. So x equals 300 divided by 400. And then you can use a calculator, or you can also just notice that you can just cancel the zeros. So it equals 3/4. And so, yeah, and so that's 0.75, which is rounded off to 0.8. Okay, so yeah, because 0.75 um, is, you have 5 there, so you round it off to 0.8. Okay, okay, let's go for the next one. So furosemide, and we're talking about the liquid furosemide. Okay, so furosemide comes as 20 milligrams per 2 ml. Okay, now let's say the doctor ordered, if doctor ordered let's say he ordered 15 milligrams. Okay, so how much furosemide will you have to give so that you give, how much of this furosemide would you give that equals 15 milligrams? So all you have to do is make it a proportion, uh, 20 milligrams, 20 milligrams per 2 mils, and that equals, put the 15 milligrams on the top, and this is what you want to find, and that's milliliters, because this is milliliters. So that's 20x equals, and 15 times 2 is 30. So that implies x equals 30 over 20. You can cancel the zeros. 3 over 2 is 1.5 milliliters. So that means 1.5 milliliters of this gives you 15 milligrams. Okay, now let's do a couple more. Okay, so the prescription calls for, so the prescription calls for 150 milligrams of for azithromycin. So 150 milligrams of, okay, on day 1, then 75 milligrams days 2 through 4. Okay, so what you do is, let's just say that you have a bottle of 200 milligrams per mil, and you have two sizes. You have a 15 mil size and a 22.5 mil size. So how would you fill it? Well, first, we know that we have 200 milligrams. I'm sorry, it's usually 200 milligrams per 5 mils. So 200 milligrams per 5 mils equals 150 over x. So if you cross multiply, you have 200x equals 150 times 5. So x equals 3.75 milliliters. So that means that on day 1, let me try to get a little space here. So day 1, it's 3.75 milliliters. And then on days 2 through 4, you can recalculate the whole thing, or you can just say, since you know that the milligram strength goes from 150 to 75, you just divide by 2. So 3.75 divided by 2 is 1.875. So that would be 1.875. You can round it off 1.9 mils, okay? And then if you add up 1.875 days 2 to 4, so that's times 4, plus 370.75 mils on day 1, the total is 11.25 mils. So that would be, if it's 11.25 mils, that means you're going to dispense the 15 mil bottle. Okay, so you have day 1, 3.75 mils, days 2 through 4, 1.875 or 1.9, whatever, close, round it off to. And then you get 11.25 mils, which is closer to 15 mils than to 22.5 mils. Okay, so he just set up his ratios. 200 per 5 equals 150 over x. Okay, the last one here will be, okay, the prescription calls for Ceftonir, 275 milligrams, once daily for 10 days. For 10 days. Okay, you have Ceftonir, you have Ceftonir 250 per 5, and 60 ml bottle. Okay, so how would you fill it? Well, okay, we would fill it. We know that we have 250 milligrams per 5 ml. We know we want 275 milligrams. Notice how we keep those on the same like right across from each other, the same row. So we have 250 milligrams equals 275 milligrams, and then the mils is on the bottom here, therefore the mils has to be on the bottom here. We cross multiply by saying 250x equals 275 times 5, and that implies x equals 5.5 mils. And if you do 5.5 mils once a day for 10 days, that would equal 55 mils total. And the 60 bottle is perfect. Okay, so we do the proportion here, set it equal to this. We have two, then we just cross multiply. 250x equals 5 times 275. We have 55 mils, which means that 60 mils is a perfect size. Okay? If it was more than that, if it was, say, 60 mil, well, let's say 70 mils or 65 mils, 70, 80, whatever, then you could do the 100 mil bottle if you have it in stock. But since it's below 60 mils and we have a 60 mil bottle, then this would be fine. Okay? All right. That should do for now. Thank you.